Hey everyone, it's Penberthy here, and in today's video, I want to talk about some very, very minor tweaks that I made to one of my sales presentations, one of my webinars, that took the conversion rate from 3% to 8% sales close rate, which actually meant the difference of about 40,000 US dollars. So let's talk about that. All right, so listen, one thing that I've realized that people are really struggling with, and to be honest, I struggled with for the longest time, is we get so much in this frame of mind of, creating your sales funnel, creating your sales process. And once you've done it and it's built, the game plan then seems to be, right, now we need to focus on getting traffic. Let's go to YouTube, let's go to Facebook, let's go to Instagram, and let's just run traffic to this sales funnel. And maybe conversions are never quite where you want them to be, right? Now, in this instance, the example I'm gonna be taking you through is a webinar funnel, but for you, it could be anything. You could have a book funnel, you could have a bridge funnel, you could be promoting affiliate products and have a little funnel on the front end. You could have a sales funnel that just leads someone to a phone call. It really doesn't matter. The point of this video is that you're probably in a position where you're trying to run traffic from all these different mediums, targeting all these different audiences, and you're leading them to your one sales funnel and it's not working, okay? Now, there is one side of this where yes, you can get one sales funnel working and it can, start to produce some really, really good numbers for you. But one thing that I've realized is that when you go after different audiences, different traffic sources, that traffic, those visitors, that audience can oftentimes react very differently. And they need to hear and visually see different things to get them across the line. And what I want to talk about in today's training is I want to essentially break down a webinar presentation, which is in turn a sales message, that the first one actually tanked. It did no good. And it was actually quite depressing and quite frustrating. But then I made some tweaks and I adapted it for that specific audience. And then it actually took off and we closed a ton of sales. And it was just from understanding the audience that I was speaking to. And I want to give you some of these examples right now today in this video so that you can apply this to what you're doing. So let me start with this. This right here is one of my flagship webinar presentations. This crushes it. This does really, really well across the board. This is targeting business owners who need more traffic to their websites. And I teach them, I have a training program called 2 Bads Academy, and it teaches people how to go out there and launch YouTube ads that crush their business, that just get phenomenal results. So this right here, this is one of my flagship webinar presentations, which obviously doubles as my sales message, right? Because I'm going to invite people onto the webinar, I'm going to take them through this presentation, and I'm ultimately going to offer them my products and services at the end. So you can see all my slides here. We've got a ton of cool stuff. I take them through a ton of content, and the message within this webinar is how to use YouTube advertisements to grow your business. And this webinar presentation targets business owners and marketers and entrepreneurs that have something to promote online, but they're struggling to get enough traffic and get enough eyeballs on their thing. And I take them through, examples and case studies and a bunch of awesome training, and then I offer them my product at the end. Now, this webinar has already done something like $500,000, all right? So this webinar is doing really well, it's taken off, and it's producing some really, really good results. Then something happened. I got a message from the guys over at ClickBank. I don't know if you've probably heard of ClickBank, the affiliate network. Well, they contacted me because they've obviously got a huge database of affiliate marketers who are looking to get more traffic. So they said, look, we actually want to promote your webinar. We want to promote your offer to our audience. And so I was thinking, great, I'm licking my lips thinking this will be a fantastic opportunity. They've got a huge audience, a huge list. We'll have, probably, a few hundred people on the webinar at least, maybe even 1,000. So, I'm all excited. We're thinking we're going to crush it because this webinar usually converts at around 10%, all right? Meaning that for every 100 people that you get onto this webinar presentation, everyone loves it, and about 10 of them will go ahead and purchase. And it's a $1,000 program, so that's about 10,000. So the numbers are looking really, really healthy, and so I'm really excited. I'm thinking, right, great. If we have 500 people on the line, it'd be great. We'll probably make 50 sales at least, and then we'll have some follow up and we'll do some other stuff. Anyway, we go and do the webinar, and I go through this exact presentation as it is right now, and it tanks. It does 3% conversion rate. And I'm thinking, this is awful. Like we've jumped off the webinar with just a handful of sales. It's all a bit discouraging. I mean, 3% compared to 10%, it's a huge drop. And so what do? We talk with the guys at ClickBank. We say, look, let's set up a second webinar. And I said to them, now that I know your audience, because I can see from the webinar chat box, I can see the types of comments that are coming in. I can see the types of interaction, things that they're asking. I'm starting to get to know their audience, right? And I said to them, look, let's put on a second webinar. Let's do it in a few days' time. Get your audience back on that one. I'm gonna make some tweaks to this presentation to suit your audience, and we'll go from there, okay? Now, at this point in time, some of you may, if you were in this position, you may have thought, this offer just didn't work for that audience. Okay, let's just rub our hands of it. That's fine. We'll just kind of accept the fact that that offer just didn't work for that audience. They didn't want to buy it. It wasn't a good fit. Let's just move on. Let's cut our losses and go in a different direction. And you've probably done this on a smaller scale. Okay, you've probably done this with a Facebook ad. The Facebook ad hasn't worked. Okay, right, well that audience didn't work. Or a YouTube ad or some other traffic source. Okay, well that audience clearly just didn't want my offer. You haven't thought about the fact that maybe just a few tweaks to the current offer would transform a campaign. So anyway, I jumped on with the guys at ClickBank for a little call and I said, tell me everything you know about your audience. And they were telling me, in hindsight, we probably should have done this before the first webinar. But anyway, we jump on, they say, well, look, here's a few things to know about our audience, right? They don't really refer to what they're doing as a business because they are all affiliate marketers. They're all just looking for a way to make money online. They're not really looking for growing a business, growing a company, growing a team. All right. And as they're saying this, I'm remembering all the slides in here that reference my team building, that reference my company, reference my business, and all that stuff is going to alienate their audience because they don't want to build necessarily a business. That whole term, they just want to make money online. Okay, so I'm learning all this stuff from them, and then I'm thinking about all these examples about the fact that they are all doing affiliate marketing. None of them are promoting their own products and services. And this whole webinar is talking, the whole language of this webinar is so you can promote your products and your services. And I repeat that time and time again, whereas these people, the ClickBank crowd, they're affiliate marketers, they don't have their own products and services, they're promoting other people's stuff. So anyway, long story short, let me show you some of the changes that I made to this presentation because I think you'll find it really interesting. So the first is the headline, right? Headline was originally how I've been using simple YouTube ads to get my business in front of millions of people and generate highly targeted leads for as low as 15 cents each. Now, a lot of the people on the ClickBank webinar, they don't want to, be getting necessarily leads. They just want to be getting commissions. And so that wasn't really the thing. I realized we need to focus on something else. So we've gone for focusing on traffic. Okay, that's the big hook. Doesn't matter if you're promoting your own stuff or just affiliate products. Everyone needs traffic. You might not even need leads, but you need traffic. So I made that the big thing. So this is the slightly adapted presentation that I did for this crowd, which was now how to tap into YouTube's traffic bank and drive hundreds of thousands of highly targeted visitors to any offer or link. Suddenly now it's been transformed. They've seen that and going, right, okay, traffic's the key, and I can just get that traffic and send it to any link that I've got. Oh yeah, well I've got that affiliate link, so I need to send traffic there. So that's starting to get the ball rolling. I'm also, there's a slide where I'm showing, some income proof to kind of show them that I'm walking the walk and talking the talk. Well, I decided, look, I'll show some of my ClickBank screenshots. This is actually from inside of one of my ClickBank accounts where we had a really, really good promotion, good day. We did $24,000 in a day. And so I thought, hey, I'll show them some of my ClickBank screenshots to indoctrinate them into them understanding. I understand their world of ClickBank. That I've been advertising on ClickBank. I know this world, so I'm starting to build some relationship with them there. What else do we change here? Originally it was talking about what's the one thing businesses can't survive without, and it was business, right? Actually getting business, making transactions. That's going to alienate them. So I changed it. We actually made that slide. What's the one thing that businesses can't survive without? Traffic. Just making that one thing traffic. Let's see what else we changed. Okay, over here I talk about the fact that I was teaching my Platinum Group coaches, my highest level coaching students, and they were asking me to teach them YouTube, and I said, look, wait till I've really mastered this. And then I talk about the fact that I took someone from my team, his name's Aaron. And this is a true story. I took Aaron and I said, look, I want to double down on this YouTube thing. Here's a ton of money, and we ended up spending 50 grand. And I want you to go ahead and test everything about YouTube. But again, another slide where I thought I'm going to alienate that crowd because I'm talking about having a team. And they're thinking, oh, I can't do this YouTube thing then because John's got a team. I clearly need a team and I don't want to build a team. So that would alienate them. So I just took that slide out, right? So rather than going from there to then showing how much we've spent now, I literally just went from talking about my coaching group to how much we've spent now. I just kind of cut that slide out and just removing anything that could alienate them. What else we got going on here? Just kind of scrolling through and just kind of thinking, you know, what can I show you that we adapted, that we changed? What else? One big thing was I just removed from everywhere any reference to business, because they don't want a business, they just want to build an income. So I removed any reference to business as we went through here. Here's another good example actually. So then I was showing some examples of types of products that you could promote. So I said, look, this in the original webinar, I said this works for, and I list a ton of stuff, and it starts with coaches and consultants. Well, that would alienate their crowd because they're not coaches and consultants, they're affiliate marketers. So what did I do? I took this one from here, okay, and I just brought it to the top. So if we go to that same slide over here, where are we? Go to that same slide. This works for affiliate marketers and CPA marketers. I made that the first thing so they instantly hear their thing and it makes sense. Then we go down the list, all right? Then the other example was, look, I was giving some examples of what you can promote on YouTube. Look, this guy's selling a rat trap. So he's targeting people who type in how to get rid of a rat. This person's selling physical gym equipment. So they're going to target people when they go to YouTube and type in best at-home workout equipment. This person is a marriage counselor. So they're going to target people who are typing in marriage counseling, wedding photographer, all this kind of stuff. I'm giving these examples. I thought that's not going to really work with their crowd. So I added some others. I did the rat trap one because there may be some people that have found their way onto that training and they are selling physical products. That's fine. But for the most part, they're selling ClickBank products. So I went onto ClickBank, I screenshotted one of their products that's called Flat Belly Fix. I said, hey, let's say you're promoting this product. Well, you want to target people when they type in how to get rid of belly fat. Let's say you're promoting an online dog training product on ClickBank. You're going to target people here. Let's say you are selling a diabetes product on ClickBank. You're not selling the diabetes, you're selling the diabetes remedy, right? And then you're going to target people when they type in how to cure my diabetes. And then I still gave some of the other examples too, because we may have some other people on the line that would resonate with those too. But I added these ones in because that's really, super duper important. And then for people on the ClickBank webinar, they may not want to be on camera. So all of my video examples I showed are me on the camera. So I made sure to show one video that we've got, which is using a testimonial, and some videos that we've got where I'm not even in the darn video, it's just images and text. So suddenly they're going, okay, great, I don't have to be on camera to do this, all right? And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple of other subtle things, but listen to this. Just these subtle changes to a pre-existing high converting offer, just some subtle changes, took it from converting at 3%, okay? To on the second webinar that we did, and again, we had literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on that second webinar. We converted at 8, almost 9%. Okay, it meant the difference of I think it was like an extra 30 or 40,000 that we made on that US dollars on that second webinar, just because we did it again, made some subtle changes. And you can see from these two presentations side by side, most of the slides are exactly the same. We didn't change a great deal, it's just changing the positioning and changing the messaging. So you guys need to do the same thing, all right? If your offer's not converting or your sales funnel isn't converting, it might not be that your offer doesn't work or your presentation doesn't work. You might just be a little bit of positioning or a few words away from converting that audience, all right? Now, what I'm not saying is that you need to create a brand new webinar presentation or a brand new sales funnel for every single Facebook ad you put out or every single audience. I'm not saying that, but group them up, right? So like if you're targeting things on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram that are business related, then great, you got your one presentation. Now I was targeting this completely different crowd of affiliate marketers. That's a big audience and they're completely different. So I crafted a slightly different presentation. Funnily enough, as soon as we finish recording this training for you, I'm jumping on a call with some other partners of ours where we're going to do a webinar to their audience, and they're all network marketers. I don't know if you're familiar with network marketing, but that crowd is very different again. So we're going to tailor the presentation to fit them, all right? So that's kind of, yeah, anyway, I hope that's helpful for you. That's what we've got going on. That's what happened. And it was very, very profitable for us. And I hope that was helpful for you. So check it out. If you enjoyed this training and it was helpful, and if you're new to the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the like button below and leave me a comment. I love reading through those, and my team does as well. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to be notified when I put out new content. I put out new videos like this all the time, so I think you'll get a ton of value from that. And if you actually want to see this very presentation, you may have interest in going through this presentation, learning from it, and also you might be interested in the product that I talk about at the end, then you can see a link to that in the description box below. You can click on that and check that out. All right, so with that, appreciate you, and I'll see you in a future video.